Josh Green here for Seconds Out.
Hey,
Delighted to be joined by Adam Smith here in Doncaster, on the pitch, in fact, at Doncaster Rovers. Adam, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How's things?
Way too long, Josh, and way too long. And I missed the darts. I hope everybody's well in that world. There's so much boxing going on at the moment. It's a bit crazy, and things are great. We've had some fantastic fights on DAZN in the last couple of weeks. Anthony Cacace I thought was brilliant. Dave Allen, who's obviously here today, getting the win over Johnny Fischer. Fantastic for Dave. And we've got Josh Taylor Saturday night in Glasgow against Echo Esserman. Moses of Town were back on that card too. But before all of that, we're here on Friday night on this green turf. Wonderful to have another stadium show, 2 stadium shows in a row with GBM. We're over in Galway, which will be brilliant at the end of June. But let's concentrate on Friday night here. It's a fantastic night. It's a wonderful homecoming for Terri Harper, who deserves to top the bill, so close to her home. And just an amazing number of fights, which are 50-50, 55-45, difficult to predict winners, crossroads fights, former world champions, British champions, unbeaten prospects, all sorts. It's got everything, and a couple of Donny derbies as well. So honestly, I think it's a really good night. It's a night, if I wasn't working for GBM, if I wasn't commentating for DAZN, I'd be here as a fan, genuinely. I love Terri Harper. She's been a fantastic advocate for women's boxing, for sport in general. She's got such a respectful opponent in Natalie Zimmerman, who's undefeated, who's come over from Germany. She knows how tough it's going to be for her, but she's just so excited about the chance, and it's really good to see. And so many fighters respectful up there at the press conference, Josh. It's a great time to be a fight fan, I think, and a fighter.
How much does this show, and the Galway show as well, represent a step forward for GBM? It's been a short journey so far, just 3 years or so under Izzy, but already producing cards of this magnitude, stadium shows, and obviously a world title fight with Terri as well.
I think it just shows their intent, and I think it shows how well they've done. Huss and Izzy and Mitch, the 3 of them starting out 3 years ago. I've been part of it the last 15 months. Alex Maver has been a big part of it. The team has grown. Mitch's fiancée, Em, as well. It's grown as a team, but it's a small team still. And, we help each other, and it's fantastic to see the growth. Izzy's never liked to be called small hall. He's a big guy. He's a great promoter, and he's got a good relationship with Eddie and the others. He's under the DAZN umbrella with Matchroom and with Queensberry, so he's got to be talked about. And now he's got a world championship. The first time he's got a world belt on a GBM show. I'm so proud of him and the team. I think it's terrific. I think all the shows are exciting. The production is fantastic. They put a lot of money into them. It's tough. The business is hard. But I think that they deserve their place at on the DAZN channel, and I think there's going to be some terrific nights ahead this year for GBM.
You were just speaking to Dave Allen, who got his big victory over Johnny Fischer on Saturday night. I know you were there commentating for DAZN. I mean, what a sort of a feel-good moment for Dave Allen, who really deserves that moment in the spotlight. Many times when he's stepped up to sort of close to that world level, he's come up a bit short, and we haven't seen the best Dave Allen. I know Johnny Fischer's maybe not up at that level, but in terms of the magnitude of the event and the fight, 8,000 people in the copper box, a great time for Dave Allen.
Yeah, Dave and I actually were just chatting about cliches in and around the English language or the boxing world, and I think maybe always the bridesmaid, never the bride springs to mind for Dave, and he got it on Saturday night. I think as happy as I am for Dave, and he's been a cult character, he's an honest fighter. He's been terrific to have around the scene. There's been good times, bad times, indifferent times. He's shown resilience, and he's got himself mentally and physically in a great place. With Jamie Moore and Nigel Travers, he's found a good home. They're wonderful people. So it was an unbelievable moment for him, and as happy as I was for him, was as sad in a way as I was for Johnny Fischer, because Johnny's a good guy. He's a top bloke who's come to boxing late. He's had a great run. He's had a lot of pressure on him. And I went to see him in the dressing room afterwards, and it's easy to be with Dave. He's won the belt, and and he's he was Dave. You know, he was like, I've won, and you know, I've got to get home to the kids, and you know, I've got to get ready for Stevie Levy and Joe Hayden on this show. But Johnny Fisher's dressing room was different, and it was hard. His first loss, and Jimmy and Mark Tibbs were in there in the team, and you know, I'm glad I went in and went to speak to him, because he was really down, and you know, and I said to him, I love fighters, Josh, and I said to him, look, you know, you're a great guy and you're going to come back. And he's like, Adam, I let everyone down. I let everyone that bought a ticket down. I let all my friends down. I let the people, the good hard-earned, you know. It wasn't about him. It was about the people. And I think that's what I love about Johnny. And he'll lick his wounds and he'll come back, and he's a great guy. And, you know, he got done by experience. And he said to me, I still just want to win an English title, or maybe challenge for a British. And you know, and they're still you know, in the sights. He's 26. That can still be achieved. And maybe it has checked him, and it's a tough one to swallow. But ultimately, Johnny was thinking more about the fans than he was himself. I've swapped messages with him, with Big John since, and yeah, I think it's always as important to find out sort of, you know, how the defeated guy's feeling, as opposed to you know, everyone's around the winner and crowding around and what's next, and Dave Allen's, and it's brilliant, but you know, just a little thought for Johnny and his family, and they put so much into British boxing in the last 2 or 3 years. And yeah, you know, Eddie loves a story, and he's got a lot of fans and all of that, but he's still got to go through the training camps, and he's now got to come back from a sole defeat. So yeah, a wonderful night for Dave Allen, one he deserves after all the times. I can't wait to have his homecoming in Sheffield. He's talking about possibly fighting even before then, so I talk about Sheffield in September, which would be great. I'd love to see Deontay Wilder in the other corner. How about that? He loves Sheffield. But yeah, Dave deserves a big fight and a homecoming. But you know, it's your heart went out to Johnny Fisher as well. So yeah, it was one of those that I saw Darren Barker on the way out, and he was delighted for Dave, but gutted for Johnny, and I think that just sums it up.
The rebuild that's now going to follow for Johnny Fisher, how do you believe that should go? He's obviously going to want to get back to that British title level and fight fighters that are in around that scene, but I think he'll be understanding that that's not something that's going to happen in the next 12 months. It may take a little bit longer for him to get back to that. Do you believe that is the way it's going to have to be?
Yeah, I think a genuine, probably maybe hope or ambition for Johnny, even before in English, or maybe it's something like he'll go for a southern area or something like that in 12 months' time, or in 9 months. I don't want to check his career or sort of, you know, draw it out for him. That's up to Jimmy and Mark and the team. But he'll need a couple of fights to get his confidence back and get rolling again. And then, you know, probably something like a southern area and then an English would be probably the way I'd look at it for the next 12 to 18 months, and see what he's like. 28, 29 heavyweights go on, so you can be in your 30s and fight as a heavyweight, late 30s. Look at Dave and beyond. So yeah, you know, Usyk's 38, you know, AJ's what, 35, 36. They're all Tyson. They're all you know, still fighting at elite level in your late 30s. So Johnny's got plenty of time, and he didn't have time before he went to university. He was a rugby player, so maybe he's got to go back to basics a bit, and that's what they'll do. And Johnny Fisher will come again, and he'll win titles, I'm sure, and the Copper Bosch will be the Copper Bosch one day, but maybe not for a while, and he'll just have to go back in the gym. And I tell you, the best thing for Johnny Fisher probably is to spend a bit of time with Dave Allen, a bit more time with him, maybe go into other camps and you know, just get some advice and listen, because he's a bright guy, and they'll help rebuild him. You know, Dave's been there. He'll go to people that have lost, and that's what he should do.
And for Dave Allen, obviously you mentioned a Deontay Wilder fight. I think that's a fight that would excite a lot of boxing fans. But Dillian Whyte has been mentioned. Obviously the British title between that winner of David Adelaide and TKV. There's a lot of options out there. I know Dave has said he wants the money fights, but obviously there's going to be the belt there as well, which is going to be tempting.
Well, he said it's tempting to keep the fridge open as well, which is tough with Dave. Yeah, look, I think the plan for Dave is probably to keep momentum while he's in the mood, keep him where he is. I'm sure Jamie and Nigel will want to have him out fairly quickly again. But yeah, look, I mean, there's a number of names. I talked to David Adelaide afterwards. Derek Chisora just wants one more fight, so he's probably out the equation because he wants maybe
I don't think he fancied that anyway.
No, I don't think he did. Maybe he wants, I'd like to see Derek and Dillian go at it again personally, but look, there's loads of fights out there. Maybe even down the line, someone like a Fabio Wardley or someone, if he gets closer to world titles. Fabio was, of course, a white collar fighter as well. So you're looking at, I don't know, possibly a TKV David, but if they're tied up, Hughie Fury maybe. I mean, I threw Deontay Wilder out there for two reasons. One is I saw his very impressive gym on social media the other day. In fact, three reasons. Secondly, I like the Bronze Bomber a lot, and I haven't seen him in a while. And thirdly, he loves Sheffield. So and he's got friends here, so he'll have a few fans, Deontay Wilder. So why not bring Deontay Wilder to Sheffield? I'd love that. What a great build-up that would be, Dave Allen and Deontay Wilder. Be a lot of fun.
Just the final heavyweight happenings. A lot going on surrounding Tyson Fury at the moment. We saw he had a business meeting down in London with his father earlier this week. We've seen Sugar Hill Stewart has been in the gym with Tyson, and Tyson's looking in really good shape, it has to be said as well. Are these all the telltale signs of the alarm bells and the return just around the corner, do you think?
Well, I don't think Tyson Fury's going to stay retired from boxing. I don't think he will. I think he'll definitely come back, and I think he'll come back to fight Anthony Joshua. And I keep appealing out to the lens for Tyson and AJ to make that fight happen for the British public, because it's a fight that everybody wants to see, right? You walk around London and some people don't know the trade names, but they know Tyson Fury and they know Anthony Joshua, and they've never met, and they could have done a couple of times. We were very, very close to making it, and it didn't happen. It's a fight that still can happen because they both need an opponent. So that's a fight I still think should be made. Why is Tyson in good shape? I think he likes being in good shape. He's got the Soccer Aid gig coming up for UNICEF, which is fantastic. No, it's all jokes aside. That's a great thing for him to do. Yeah. Who knows with Tyson? He could end up in WWE. He can end up anywhere. But I think in the sort of shape he's in, he's a fighting man. He's a boxer, and I think he'll want to come back. And maybe he'll have a fight. We know Joshua doesn't want to fight until the end of the year. Maybe he wants to fight even sooner. I don't know. But I'll be on the phone to Spencer Brown to try and find out, and I'll be hounding him. But no, I think Tyson Fury will come back in his own good time, but he will be back, and I think the Joshua fight will still happen.
Adam, really appreciate the time, and looking forward to seeing you again on Friday night.
See you soon.